our July forecast. And before I actually do the forecast, I want to talk to you about something I experienced. And I want to bring it up because 9 times out of 10, if I've experienced it, then many of my viewers have experienced it. So I think it's important to address and talk about. I love astrology because it makes rational, logical sense to me. It takes energy and emotion, makes it rational to me. Now, I have a Gemini rising, and so I need things to make sense. It is a desire within me to find a way to take something that has no real tangible science behind it and try to find a way that I can predict it, that I can analyze it, that I can explain it. And that's what astrology did for me. And so for many years, I had emotions because I am a Leo, but on the cusp of Cancer, so my primary degrees are in Cancer. And so I wanted to make sense as a rising out of my wiring. And it just seemed that astrology made sense. Like, I could look and know that at the full moon, people were going to make a lot of emotion-based decisions. There were a lot of endings. There were a lot of births. I mean, these were things that I could tangibly see every single day. I could write down and I could record, and I could actually predict human behavior. And that's why I got into it. And so when things that I don't understand happen to me, I need to find a way to make rational. I want stats. I mean, I want some logic behind it. I don't want just somebody telling me that. I mean, I want to have enough evidence out there to support it. So for the last 3 weeks, and I don't really like talking about I'll talk about personal experiences once I've removed my emotion, but when I'm going through the emotional experience, I don't talk. And anybody who knows me, I don't talk about things I'm feeling until I've made peace with it. And so for 4 weeks, I have been seeing things, dark figures, foggy figures. They look like a human form. It sounds crazy when I talk about it because actually I don't even know if I want to talk. Okay. They're dark forms and they are not scaring me. I have had supernatural experiences throughout my life, on and on, very few, handful, where an unexplained incident happened and I could definitely call it supernatural. But I have never had an experience like this where I feel like I'm walking by a figure that's not there, but it's watching me, but I'm not scared of it. Like, I've never had that. And that started happening, and then I started dreaming again about things that people, situations, exes. I just started having connections with people again, which I fight tooth and nail. I don't really like any of this stuff. Like, I just want to study astrology and have a rational reason for everything I feel. I don't want to associate anything truly beyond that with what I'm doing. That is me. I am not a normal astrologer. I know that. You guys have all told me in nasty comments how much I am not a normal astrologer, and some of you like it. So I don't watch a lot of the metaphysical stuff because I'm just not interested in that. You know, I have my faith and that's it. But these figures started happening and it bothered me, so I talked to a couple people about it who pretty much just listened to me, but I think looked at me like I was crazy. And then I started noticing I had the dreams again, and I was like, oh, okay. Then I had one very specific dream that has rocked my boat, and I want to talk to you guys about it. this dream was, I was sitting in front of that same kind of foggy figure, right? And he told me, or it told me, I don't even remember it being a voice. I think it was more telepathically, like in the dream, like, you know how you dream weird. And it was like, it said, do this, do this list, and your life will be benefic. Now, I don't have an easy life. I never have, and I never will, because Saturn's sitting in my 12th house. And so I'm going to suffer, in Taurus in my 12th house. So I will suffer my entire life, throughout my life, and I will sense the suffering of others. So this was very weird, but it clearly had said, do this list. I got up and I wrote the list down, and I embarked on it the very next day. Then 2 days later, I got in a little fender bender, nothing significant, no biggie. But it just reiterated that financial aspect of what I need to do some work on. And I felt it was a sign. Like, deeply, I felt it was a sign. It's not like I just thought it was a sign. It's like I knew it was a sign. And then I've been having anxiety about weird things, like anxiety issues. Like, I'm constantly, like, sometimes I'm just in a state of anxiety. Like, I'll get a buildup of energy and it'll make me have anxiety. Where normally I laugh about energy and I can usually rationalize energy now that I know astrology. Okay, fine, I knew and I had a rational explanation for what I was feeling, yet I couldn't get a hold on what I was feeling. Now that has something to do with Mars being in Cancer, and, you know, hello, I'm a Cancer. So, yes, it's definitely that, but it was weird. And the reason I'm bringing this up to you guys is because I know you guys are going through a major reboot. I've watched the energy torture you in May and June. Wow, did you guys go through it? I want you guys to know that your life at this point is a fluid concept. Now, you're a mutable energy, and you will mold your clay easily to what's going on. So I think for you, if you are feeling this, I think you're wanting to analyze why. Why am I having these dreams? Why am I having these instincts? Why am I having this anxiety? I think you're wanting to get to the root cause of all of that. And I want you guys to research out something, because you guys are beautiful at this. I want you guys to research out ascension, because here's what's happening. Light workers, all of those that are being have a purpose here to be a light worker or a healer of any sort, right now are going through a mass ascension. We're at the beginning of the mass ascension, and anytime there's a transformation process that starts out, I think at first you feel tired, you feel anxious. It's kind of like, you know, you're going to go jump out of that plane. So you got really excited about jumping out of that plane, and you put everything into process. You ordered the package. You know, you're driving there. You still got the adrenaline going, and you get there and you're like, I really am going to freaking jump out of a plane. Like, what kind of idiot am I talking about? How could I ever think that way? And I think that's what's going on. It's just that anxious but excited, but you're having this reboot on your energy levels, reboot on how you perceive the world and its energy. I think your logical mind is wanting to analyze all this. It's making you very tired. It's making you edgy, grumpy, bitey at people. It's, you know, you're sinking into a bit of your lower vibration, and that's fine, because that was also allowing you to tweak how you respond to people and how others perceive your responses. And so it was a great, you know, the energy's doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing, and you're reacting in the ways that, you know, it's karmically supposed to be happening to you. So I'm not really worried about it. I just wanted to bring to your attention that you are a fluid concept right now. You are a baby, and we're all babies who are these light workers and these psychics and these healers, and, you know, all of these people that are having all this stuff happen to them. We're getting a reboot, and I don't think we truly know how to process all of that. And I wanted to make this at the beginning of my videos because I feel like I have to tell people, and I don't know why. I don't know why I'm having dreams. I don't know why I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I don't know why. There's no logic until. So before I do videos, while I'm getting ready, I put on all of the aspects on videos, and I let that energy kind of seep into me to try to, you know, get me in tune with energy, and that's how I do it. And I had put in the video about Virgo being debilitated in Venus, and it went into a completely different video about how there's this mass ascension going on right now, and about how this astrologer that I truly love had all of this like side effects like I was having, and that he experienced these horrible things and this anxiety and all this, and I was like like it was the weirdest experience. When stuff happens, you know, you talk about it, but when it happens to you, it creeps you out, and it kind of creeped me out. He said he got like 14,000 hits in an hour of people who are going through the same thing. I want you to know that if you're one of them, there is a mass ascension process happening right now. It's because of all the energy. It's because we have so many planets in retrograde fine-tuning areas and how we respond to energy. There is a reason for this, a logical, rational reason, and research it. So now that I am done lecturing you about what I went through, I just wanted you to know because, you know, I like to keep you guys informed. Let's talk about this month. We have a full moon in Capricorn, and for you, I think this energy is going to be a little bit heavy. Capricorn is an energy that is very task-oriented. It's very sure of the next level, the next place it puts its foot to get to that next level. You can't be more polar opposite. You don't care. You sometimes just put your foot over here, and sometimes you try it over there, and you probably didn't even plan out that rock climbing escapade because you know what? You want to live in the moment, and you want to have the full experience in it. So when you have this moon sitting in here, I think this is going to be about tweaking you, about fine-tuning you, about transforming the way that you look at your life right now, your habits, your tendencies, your how you respond to things that cause you to have anxiety, or things that cause you to feel things that it causes you to feel like, you have to pre-plan. For you, that means it's like putting a ball and chain on you and dragging it. I mean, you would much rather be as light as air flying around. And you don't really like it when energy makes you accountable. And this is what this energy does for you. And it's in your intimate relationships. So, or it's in partnering, like if you are sharing resources, or if you are in a partnership with somebody where you are sharing resources, it's making you accountable. And maybe you don't like being accountable to others to this degree. And so I think you're going through a little bit of tweaking here. Now, your ruler is actually in a pretty good mood on this day. So Mercury is going to be sextiling Jupiter and Venus at the same time. So this is so great. This is like, it's a great time to revamp your appearance, transform the way that you carry yourself, transform the way that you look, buy a new wardrobe. It's, you're going to transform the way you see yourself. The way that, you want the way that you see yourself to be viewed by others. And so you're going to want to tweak that area and fine tune that area. This is a great energy for that. Anything that you do today, if you put enough energy into it and enough motivation behind it, that you could seriously make some headway in this particular area if you want to. You have to intend it. You have to want it. You have to thirst for it. But you will get it with all this benefic energy in your ruling planet. I do want to talk about that the Sun and Mars are both in Cancer, and they're conjunct, which means they're in the same degree. They're kind of right next to each other, within 9 degrees of each other. And so anything that has to do with home, family, how you passionately pursue things, about how how you see yourself, how others see you, how you lead people, that's all going to be kind of looked at during this this particular day, this full moon. So the way that I like to look at full moons is it puts a spotlight on where you have shadows, where the dark shadows are. You put a spotlight there. If there's nothing there, then nothing happens, right? But if you put your spotlight there and you see a ginormous fracking, huge spider, which I would pee my pants if I ever saw, because I'm friggin' scared to death of spiders, I would either run out like a sissy girl screaming, or I would go, and I've done this before, I ran outside one time and I got a giant shovel, right? Ran into the house and beat the tar out of it with a shovel. Now, was it excessive? Probably. But, that's how big my fear is of a freaking spider. I got an entire shovel to kill a spider. So, just know that you could have that type of experience today. On the 8th, I love this day. Mercury, your ruler, is going to be trining Neptune along with Mars and the Sun, all in Cancer, trining Neptune. So this means that you could be realistically looking about how you want to make yourself feel better, make your core intention, purpose in life match your outer world. It could mean that it may make you incredibly sensitive and passionate about home and family and love and romance. It could make you communicate effectively about what you want to do with the rest of your life, but on a deeper level than you have been able to in the last few months. Like, what you want now. You have reality backing you on what you want. So now you have the ability to communicate about it. You want to talk about how people value you and how you value others. You want people to see you the way you do. So you want to make sure they value you the same way that you value yourself at this point in your life. You're not looking back at the past and saying, well, this person, you're not justifying the past anymore. You are who you are, and you want people to judge you for who you are at this present moment and place value on the you that you are. On the 13th, we have a day where I like to call this a yin and yang day. Like, it's a balancing of energy day. And, personally me, although I know this is not you, I like to have energy either, I don't like it to swing too high and I don't like it to swing too low. I like it to meet in the middle. And so for me, this is a beautiful day. We have Venus and Jupiter trining Uranus. So this could be a day where anything goes. It could be a day where you just have this conversation that leads you in a whole new direction that you had never anticipated, and it has a futuristic tone to it. Like, you could see that whatever happens in this conversation or through this something you're researching, or you could just come across the best form of information that you would ever hope to find that completely explains something, but it's going to be like a holy cow aha moment. And it's going to be beautiful. The only thing that I can say is, if somebody tries to suck you into your past and define you by who you used to be, don't let them. Okay? You are a fluid concept right now. You don't even know who you are right now. In fact, I don't think any of us really truly understand the purpose of what's going on in our lives. And so we're all a fluid concept, and nobody gets to take that power from you. If you find that somebody wants to drag you into your past and define you by what happened between 2002 and 2014, that's their effing problem, right? That's not your problem. Look, you're now this person. And if they can't see you for who you are, then you're going to have a conversation about it and you're going to move forward. And you're going to do it with, some gusto because you've earned it. Then, I want to mention one more thing. Although you may move forward and you may not like what that person highlights, it will shine a spotlight that resonates with you. And it will be something where you're like, holy crap, she's right. Like, I did used to be that way. Maybe I didn't understand it could hurt somebody like it did, or he shines a light in something where it's an aha moment. It's something where you're like, it doesn't mean they get to define you by that, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't look at it and really internalize this and dive deep and feel what the message that the universe was trying to give to you, because it's a big one. On the 15th, we have a new moon in Cancer. For you, this is going to be in how you view yourself, how deeply you feel that you've come in your journey. Are you authentic? Are you still trying to make yourself appear to others? Or do you even know? Like, are you still molding your life to others and you really don't have your own identity yet? Like, you're going to be looking at that kind of stuff. Your ruler is going to be conjuncting with Mars at 14 degrees in Cancer. And this is going to oppose Uranus. So this new moon is, look, whatever comes up, whatever unexpected event comes up through a conversation or through a pursuit, a passionate pursuit, maybe a pursuit of knowledge or a pursuit of setting forth boundaries to others and saying, you know what, I'm this person. This is what I deserve. This is what I value. I want that. If they're not on board with you, then yes, you could have sudden endings. You could have sudden things that come up that kind of blow you out of the water. You could see a totally different side of somebody that you had never anticipated. However, whatever comes up is part of the big picture. It's part of removing the obstacles to get you to ascent. If you are part of the people that are having these lights go on in your life that you can't quite explain, and you are going through ascension, the universe is fine-tuning. You've got Neptune, you've got Venus, you've got Saturn, you've got Pluto, all in retrograde, tweaking you to this month, tweaking you to fine-tune you on every level. We're diving into our unconscious realms, into our completely material world during this process. So if you're feeling tore, pulled, everything, energy is going in every way, I think you, for the most part, are one of those people that can really adapt to this energy really well, because, you're kind of like, whatever energy is leading me here, suck it, let's go over there. Then on the 22nd, we have a cardinal cross in an area for you, again, about how you're valued. I don't think that this will dramatically affect you. However, you could have conversations with people that it is affecting, because it's going to be all the cardinal energies, which that's Libra, Capricorn, Cancer, and Aries. So if you have significant people in your life that are going through something, what's happening is this is the same energy, guys, that the Pluto-Uranus square is highlighted. So nobody is outside of feeling this energy, especially if you have any of the placements of Libra, Pluto, Capricorn, Mars, Cancer, Uranus, and Aries. If you have those, you may feel in whatever areas those shine in an area in your chart, you may feel something. I think primarily this energy is going to be for the cardinal signs, but you are starting to have your spotlight. You're starting to be in the spotlight with the universe. And so it might behoove you to have the conversations with these serious conversations with cardinal signs today, because you're going to get tweaked. Maybe not in the way that they got They were tweaked, but you are next to be tweaked by the universe for sure, because now it's the mutable signs that are like onto the next onto their ascension process. Then on the 23rd, we have the Sun and Mercury move into Leo. Now, this is a much better place for your ruler when Mercury is in Leo. You just feel the fire. You feel like air and fire are just blowing in the right direction. You just get each other. Air and fire energy are beautiful together. So this is harmonious. And I really, really like that we're finally getting out of the deep waters of the Cancer where it's putting it's making everything damp and wet and heavy. Now we're up to, energy that just flies and soars in a hot air balloon, and it's going to create a better time for you. Venus, when it gets into Virgo, is debilitated. So Venus is the planet that rules pleasure, love, romance, creative endeavors, money endeavors, partnering. So, and it's going to go into Virgo. You get Virgo energy because your mind is already analytical as it is. But I think that Mercury in Virgo is entirely different energy than Mercury in Gemini. I think you're going to find that you're going to critically analyze your partners a lot when this energy starts up in the 23rd. You're going to look, you're going to compare, you're going to look at everything on a more realistic level. You're going to be basing everything on partnering in all of these areas. Like I said, creative endeavors, money, romance, partnering. All of those will be completely based on whether or not they're dependable, whether or not they're going to get you to the point that you want to be in your life, whether or not you guys can work together on your goals. You're going to really, really analyze if this partner is the one for you. And I think it's important to do that right now because there's a reason why. As I say, all energy goes into the energies it does. And for you, I think there's a really good reason why you're starting to look at why energy is what it is. So Mercury on this day is going to trine Saturn. And I really, really like when anything is trining Saturn because that takes all the heat off. And so you may have great conversations about maybe taking a short distance trip, or you may just have a wonderful conversation where you connect intellectually with somebody significant. You may think about, okay, I'm still kind of weak in this area. I'm not really strong enough to be with this partner. I need to develop some mental well-being rituals and routines that make you a really strong partner, both emotionally and physically, to be able to go through tough times with partners. Maybe you're starting to have that, focused on in your life. Then on the 25th, Venus is going to retrograde. So again, this is all about fine-tuning this particular area. So you're going to tweak this stuff even more. You thought you were critical before. Well, you're really critical now. You're not just going to fall in love for no reason. I mean, this has got to complete you. This has got to complete your purpose. This has got to really, really make sense. And it has to make sense to you. Sometimes you can do things that feel good, but this is not about doing things that feel good. This is about it has to make rational sense to you. And then on the 31st, we're going to have a full moon in Aquarius. And for you, this is going to be about your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. Again, you're thinking very futuristic right now. I love this energy. I love this moon. It is so much nicer than the last moon. There's no heavy aspects. It's all trining. Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter are all trining Uranus. So Lots of unexpected things could come up from things you probably didn't see. Maybe those conversations where you're tweaking it really regenerates those particular areas. Again, you're looking at, I want to set up home. I want to make my family secure. I want to make my home environment this. I want to have children. You're looking at the nuts and bolts, your foundation, your roots, the things you stand on. How did your growing up, cloud your judgment of how solid your feet are? You're going to be really tweaking all those areas. And then you're going to be looking inside and you're going to say, does that person value me the way that I value myself? Am I going through life where I'm valuing even the right things? Like, you could be looking at stuff like that. Remember that this energy is going on for a reason. And this beautiful day full of this full moon is maybe going to go in there, put a flashlight on that corner where that spider used to be, and guess what? That spider died and its skeleton is there. There's nothing left. It's a past issue. It's done. You didn't have to go kill the big hairy spider. Like, he's a carcass. That is the month of July. It was a lot to talk about. Woo! I'm feeling hot and spicy, but I am at least identifying a lot better with this month than I did the previous months, because it has been a freaking nightmare to talk about these hard energies with you guys. I felt so bad for you, Geminis. I really, really, really have. Holy crap. Breathe a sigh of relief because energy is being restored. Have a wonderful July, and I look forward to talking to you guys again next month.